And welcome back to episode one of the vlog. If you haven't seen the first one, technically episode zero, I kind of discuss what to expect over the next couple of episodes. And if this vlog goes past 15, we might even discuss things kind of, beyond the fitness realm, etc. But things that I think will be beneficial for anyone watching. I don't want to just talk about random shit that is not useful. I want to discuss things that you guys or whoever's watching can implement and make them better. So that's the kind of purpose of these vlogs or bigger pieces of content, that I'm able to articulate things a little bit more in depth for people to understand and then utilize as well. But this first episode is going to be about the importance of building a base. And the more I've kind of dove into or realize how important building a base is, and how it kind of goes beyond just strength, and it can benefit other different qualities. I'm starting to realize that it's definitely something to consider. So when I say base level, speaking about threshold, foundation, capacities, stamina, tolerance, resilience, any of those things, they'll kind of all fall under the same category, just in different contexts. So, and to be honest, this is my fourth attempt at this video, so I pray to God this is the last one, because I don't want to spend 30, 40, 50 an hour just doing this. I just want to bust it out, get the information I need to say. But in saying that, this is such a broad topic that hopefully I don't waffle on too much. And if I do waffle on, please tell me. I'll try and reduce the waffleness. But if we're talking about in a strength quality, and I'm going to relate this to just say like a deadlift, and I might actually I'm going to talk about my own personal experience with this one. So, being a long, gangly fella, core and lower back, core is lower back, but anyways, has always been a bit of a weak point. And when I did deadlift, my back would pull up sore. Technique, I think, was pretty sound, but back would always pull up sore. But I never did any specific back work. And I thought back then that, lifting heavy deadlifts, obviously like a lower back exercise that helps your lower back, is going to make it strong, but it was never really the case, and my lower back just always blew up. But so I kind of steered away from the deadlift, to be honest, for a few years. But ever since kind of jumping back on it and wanting to, bring my deadlift back up again, I've been doing heaps of good mornings, heaps of reverse hypers, and slowly, I did a deadlift the other, maybe 3 or 4 or 5 weeks ago. Just kind of pulled into a session, and deadlifts felt fine. They flew up. This is like, for me, this is heavy. I did 150 for 5, and back was fine. And that's just kind of, again, building a tolerance or a base, not necessarily absolute strength. And when I say absolute strength, that's like your top tier stuff. So your top end speed, or your 1RM, or 10 out of 10 challenging, physical, whatever. But yeah, so kind of building a tolerance, and increasing your capacity levels to stress and load. And we'll talk about stress a little bit later, but I think is 80% of the battle. And if anyone does follow the West Side methods, that pretty strong fellas, and 80% of their lifts were accessory or small exercises, and they did reverse hypers and good mornings to the cows came home. And I think that's because, and they were able to achieve such high level world records, is because they did those tiny little things. along with many other things. But I think that's a big crux of what they did. And then I guess from an endurance point of view, so running, I'm sure everyone's on the running wagon these days after Ned Brockman's huge feat. But again, this could be another. This is a kind of shin splints or a knees conversation. So people say, what do you do for shin splints? Invent a time machine and go backwards, and again, build a base, build tolerance, build capacity to this load or stress that's going through your knees. But yeah, if you were to run 5 kilometers, 10 kilometers, you pull up fine, and all of a sudden you spike in load, or say like your tolerance is here, and you're doing 5Ks, 10Ks, and 20Ks, and just 40Ks is just too much for your knees to tolerate. You're gonna pull up sore. But on the other hand, if you say you're doing it on grass, that's a whole different story. So building base tolerance and foundational strength will allow you to hit that high level physical or physically demanding qualities. And you could say this for injury prone people. So I'll speak a little bit less on this one because I don't want to waffle on too much, but those who don't have a capacity, or you could talk about this from like a CNS or a central nervous system point of view, that these people can't, who are injury prone, cannot tolerate stress. They cannot tolerate a high amount of load, otherwise something happens, niggles or injury or whatever. But if they were able to decrease stress, maybe they wouldn't be so injury prone. And this can be taught. This can be also related to illness as well. One little cold breeze or one cold night, you're sick. Again, this could be a CNS or stress thing, or your inability to tolerate stress, or your inability to tolerate stress, we'll just call it. And yeah, that's about it. I think I'm going to leave it there. That's it. I'm not going to waffle on too much. But yeah, if you're looking to increase your peak of your pyramid, always start with the base level stuff. Base level stuff, and this is not high intensity stuff. This is stuff that you can repeat for a long period of time. And that's it. Thank you so much for listening. And again, if you've made it to this 8-minute mark, I really appreciate it. That means you kind of are intrigued into what I have to say. So if you're watching, thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next episode. And if there's anything you want me to discuss in particular, message me, and I'll discuss it, and hopefully it won't be such a broad topic that I waffle on too much. But thank you anyways.